Well, the Georgia Farm Bureau Young Farmer Program is designed to develop future Farm Bureau leaders and build friendships among young farmers from across the state. Recently, a group of 30 young farmers took a trip to our nation's capital for a chance to visit with their lawmakers and learn how farm policy is made. The Monitor's Mark Wildman reports from Washington, D.C.
As you look around this room, you not only see a group of farmers who produce a wide range of commodities, but you catch a glimpse at the future of Georgia agriculture.
I feel real good about the group we have up here, a great group from all across the state, all different sectors of ag, really coming together, get to know one another and get to know their representative.
In a large part, their future relies on what goes on here in Washington, D.C. Staff members from the American Farm Bureau Federation spoke to the group on some of the top priority issues in agriculture. Issues that include immigration, EPA regulations, and the new Farm Bill were front and center.
The Farm Bill is going to be an issue for the next couple of years, primarily because of budget. We have such a huge budget deficit, and it appears that Congress is finally ready to do something about it. And the fact is that farmers and ranchers are going to be asked to do their fair share of cuts, too. Now, we hope we can keep it to just doing our fair share and not doing more than our fair share, but that'll be a big job because so many people in Congress think farmers are just rich right now. They read about 150-year cotton highs and $7 corn, and they think every farmer's just rolling in dough, and maybe we don't need a safety net anymore. So that'll be our charge, to try to remind members of Congress that you write a farm bill for good times and bad.
Not only did the group make connections with other young farmers around the state, but they learned how to access lawmakers and to get their concerns heard.
It gives us an opportunity to meet our congressmen and senators to see exactly what they're thinking about the issues that are affecting us on the farm every day, and to be able to talk to them about the things that we need to discuss to try to figure out what we need to do to help them, to give them information of what's actually affecting us in what we do every day.
While in Washington, the delegation got an opportunity to hear from the 2 U.S. senators from Georgia and get an update on the issues that they're working on in the Senate.
We're doing everything we can to try and advocate on behalf of the Farm Bureau and farmers in Georgia, making regulations fair and keeping them from being oppressive, and making sure we address the component parts of agriculture which are so important, which is fuel costs, because the pivots run the irrigation, which takes fuel, and then the trucks that take the product to market or take it to the value-added processor somewhere else. So those are all very important, and we're working on those.
Farm policies that come out of Washington depend a large part on how farmers are viewed and current conditions. With producers seeing high prices for commodities, it is important for members of Congress to understand good times don't last forever.
Every farmer I know, whether it's in Georgia or any other state in America, would much rather get 100% stream of your income from the marketplace as opposed to getting it from Washington. And when prices are what they are right now, there is very little in the way of payments coming out of Washington.
As the group spread out on Capitol Hill in smaller groups, they were able to meet with their congressmen, and they brought their issues and stories from back home with them.
You know, we can be here as lobbyists when you're not available, and we can tell members of Congress what will affect agriculture and why. But to have a farmer, especially a young farmer, walk in your office and be able to say, this is how a certain issue affects me, or this is how much it would cost on my operation, or this is why this is a crazy idea out of the EPA, it goes a long ways.
And if the network of small family farms and the way of life that brings to them is going to continue, then efforts like this trip are going to have to be made.
You know, in the long term, trying to stay in business and be able to afford to stay in business with the cost so high in this country, you know, I think that's going to hurt us competing with, as the world develops. Developing countries are coming on and really going to take over if we aren't real careful with our over-regulations.
From Washington, D.C., I'm Mark Wildman for the Georgia Farm Monitor.